Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube is going through a major reset right now. The YouTube of the 2010 to 2020s is gone. The massive creators that made the YouTube platform what it is today are being pushed down because they're not favorable in this new algorithm. A lot of you guys have experienced the algorithmic shift. You guys are seeing high spikes of views followed by cliffs and drop-offs. This is because YouTube has changed in the last couple of years, and if you don't adapt or change with it, you are going to get left behind. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you don't adapt with it, you're going to get left behind. In this video, we're going to talk about the evolution that YouTube has gone through over the last number of years. I'm also going to share with you some major things that you should be avoiding right now on your channel. But before I do that, I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that you should be doing on your channel. So with that said, let's rock, let's roll. Uncle Raph's got your back. Let's do this. All right, you guys, I've been on the platform since 2014. I've seen a lot of ebbs and flows, ups and downs. I've seen creators come and I've seen creators go, but never to the extent that we are seeing right now. There have always been peaks and valleys, right? And good creators know that you will have momentum, and momentum generally looks like you're climbing a mountain. And once you get to the top of the mountain, there's a peak. And if you don't adjust or evolve, then you end up going straight like this or even down like this. Good creators are constantly adjusting and evolving. That's what makes them great. That's what makes them be able to withstand the test of the algorithmic swings. But if you don't evolve, you die. And what's happening right now with the algorithm is forcing a lot of these big creators who've been on the platform for years to make a very serious decision. Either get on board and start adapting your content to the new algorithm or taper off. So we've seen people like MatPat taper off. There's been a number of other creators that have tapered off. The Paul brothers have stopped creating as much content. They peaked as well a couple years ago. And rather than adapting to YouTube, they decided to adapt in whatever other direction. There it's boxing. What is it? Boxing? Is it boxing? It seems more like dancing, like choreography. I don't know if you guys saw that last Jake Paul fight, but it was definitely not fighting. It was more like West Side Story. There was a lot of dancing, some snapping. You know what I'm saying. Oh man, okay. Those guys sure are funny, aren't they? But one of the main keys to surviving on YouTube is evolution. You have to adjust to what the algorithm wants. Remember, you guys, as creators, we don't own our audience. We don't have any say if they see our content or not. That's completely up to YouTube. So if we create a video this week and it does really well, we have no say over whether next week's video is going to do just as well, or if it's going to completely bomb, or if it's going to do even better. So my point is, we can't ever get complacent with the content that we're creating, or the style that we're creating, or the brand that we have built. We have to constantly be evolving to appeal to the algorithm, so the algorithm favors us just as much as they did last week and continues to promote our content to our warm audience and also to our cold audience. Now, this brings me to the way that people are evolving. But before I do that, I want to talk about why we left YouTube on our big channel after gaining 350,000 subscribers. It was because in 2019, YouTube also went through an algorithmic shift that was trying to force family content creators into a little box that they could control a little bit better. You see, how the algorithm worked prior to 2019 was that every single video that you created had an equal opportunity to get in front of a wide audience. But people started gaming the system. They started understanding that if they just did more outlandish things, or if they clickbaited their content a certain way or titled their videos a certain way, that they would gain algorithmic favor. So then YouTube said, well, let's curtail that by making sure that everybody fits into a nice and neat category. And so the algorithms were really categorical at that point. The algorithm started taking these individual channels and saying, okay, I think it fits into this niche, and it wouldn't deviate from that niche once it categorized you, or it would be very, very difficult. So rather than us saying, hey, we're going to be part of this family gaming niche, as opposed to family vlog where we could shoot whatever we are wanting to shoot, we just decided to say, hey, you know what? We hit our peak, we're going to hang up our hats and we're going to move on to something else. And that's what a lot of these big YouTubers are doing right now, because they're feeling like the algorithm is forcing them to do things that they don't want to do. So let's talk about what a lot of creators are doing. If you look at people like Ben Shapiro or even Patrick Bet David or Think Media, a lot of these bigger channels that have done incredible things have now decided to adapt and evolve into media companies and play the volume game. If you look at what the Daily Wire has done with their content, they have multiple hosts all creating content for the same channel, so there's a lot of variety. They're creating shorts all the time. They also have their own individual YouTube channels, and so they have this conglomerate of YouTube channels that fall under the same ecosystem. Patrick Bet David with Valuetainment's doing the same thing. Think Media is doing the same thing. That is one option. I saw a TikTok the other day, you guys. Highly recommend it. Let's see here. It's by Christopher Claflin. I'll put a link down in the description below, but he does a perfect job of talking about these influencers building out their own media companies so that way they can play the volume game and continue to adapt without having to have their face in front of everybody all the time on every single video. And that's why a lot of these people like MatPat are leaving, is because they weren't able to adapt in the media company evolution or create that type of a business model around their content. And so it became a grind for MatPat to create new content every single week, plus have to deal with the changes from the algorithm, which can be a pain in the booty. So let's discuss some options that you have if you don't want to build a media company around your channel. Now, if you guys do want to build a media company around your channel, leave a comment down below. I want to hear from you guys, because if I get enough of you guys who are interested in that, then I'll create an entire video specifically geared towards media companies, and I think it'd be really awesome. But I'm going to leave it to you to decide. Leave it in the comments below. If you don't want to create a media company, here are some things that you need to do. Number one, you need to create a brand that is bigger than yourself. Every single YouTube channel should have a mission. The mission of the Graffiti channel is to teach you guys how to use YouTube to make money, to become a full-time job, to get leads for your company. That is the whole mission of this YouTube channel. I'm also trying to debunk things. I've got a lot of YouTube plaques. I've worked with a lot of channels, and I know a lot of misinformation. So another reason that I'm doing this channel is so I can do the reading between the lines for you and help you see what is coming, what is effective, what is not effective. That's the mission of this channel. And regardless of if I create the content or somebody else creates the content, the mission of the channel is never going to change. Every smart creator is thinking the same way. They're thinking about branding. What is the big picture brand or the mission behind my channel? If you can create a mission behind your channel, you're far more likely to have people continue to come back, regardless of if the algorithm goes up or down. Your audience is going to keep coming back because they are in love with the mission. And the mission is bigger than just you. Number two, don't be afraid to create experimental content. You always have to be testing and trying new things. If you look at this channel, I have done things that are personal brand. I have done things that are skits. I've done vlogs on this channel. I'm testing and trying new things all the time, because as soon as you just fall into the trap of staying redundant, then you stop being susceptible to change and evolution. And evolution is how you grow. Evolution is how you stay in front of the algorithm, is how you stay on top of the algorithm. Number three, create content with staying power. Content that will withstand the test of time. Now, I know a lot of you guys are creating like stuff that is like, I want to get it in on the homepage of YouTube, right? You know who you are. But there is wisdom in creating content that is for the homepage on browse, for suggested, so shows up in that column over there, and in search. Search is still vitally important. People are still coming to YouTube to have their problem solved. So creating a well-rounded content strategy is also crucial for long-term success. My videos on my big channel, Scott and Camber channel, some of those videos still get thousands of views every single month. I still make money from that channel, and I literally haven't uploaded a video. I think I uploaded one video last year, maybe the one video the year before. We're not uploading very frequently. Oh, I've done a couple shorts over there. That's a lie. I want to make sure that I'm truthful and honest in everything that I do. Okay? Trust me. I have created some shorts over there, but for the most part, those aren't making any money. Maybe a couple bucks here and there. Create content with staying power. Staying power is extremely important. Now, let's talk about what to avoid. Number one, I still advise avoiding shorts. Unless you have 50 to 100,000 subscribers on your channel and you're getting 20 to 30,000 views on every single video, I would not incorporate shorts onto the same channel that you're doing your long forms until it's time, until that channel has been built to the point where your long form audience just wants to see you. They're going to come back for everything. Because again, you guys, the problem is segmenting your audience. You create shorts that do really well and you're going to build a shorts audience. YouTube blasts your shorts out to a far bigger pool than they do your long form audience, or a far more random pool than they do your long form audience. Again, so if you start pulling an audience from your short form content, they might not want to watch your long form content. And you guys, I've created a number of videos on this. You can check out this playlist right here on my angry rants about YouTube shorts and how stupid I think they are. I think they're ridiculous and you should, they're just dumb. If you want to watch that playlist, boop, boop, right there. The second thing you should avoid is AI. I hate to say it, but Neil McMahon, whatever his name is, Neil Mahanahan, He said earlier this year that they were going to start putting measures in place that make you accountable to the YouTube audience, to the YouTube guru gods, that if you use AI, you have to self-declare. You got to check a box that says, I used AI in creating this piece of content. I think that as AI, especially what we've seen with Sora, right? Sora videos, that stuff is going crazy right now, especially what we've seen with Sora. Video content is going to saturate the internet because it's going to be super easy to create. So what's going to end up happening is every time you self-declare, yes, I have AI, it's going to eventually, ultimately, could potentially limit your reach, because there's so much AI content that's going to be created over the next couple of years. It's going to be crazy. So in my opinion, I think that you should avoid it, so that way you don't have to self-declare, and that way your content can continue to get views without the algorithm hurting you. The other thing that you need to continue to do is create good content that has a great session time that keeps audience on the platform. We have so many resources down in the description for you to take a look at. We've got the micro hooks, free booklet, free like one sheet, one page that gives you micro hooks that you can inject into your content. We also have the channel blueprint, which is linked down in the description below. And if you want to learn tricks to have more retention in your videos, I created a video. It's right here. Take a look at it. It's got some great nuggets in it. Hopefully that was valuable. Later.